It's recording.
All right. Okay, welcome everyone. Today is February 17th, 2022. And this is our bi-weekly CSI Secret Store meeting. As always, this meeting is governed by the CNCF. So the code of conduct applies. If you're not familiar with all the terms in the code of conduct, please visit our repo and look up the code of conduct markdown file for information. With that, let's go ahead and kick it off. Let's see, looks like we got a pretty light agenda. Is that right? I'm just looking, not much happening here. So Tommy and then some stuff. Let me just go through, I'll kick it off because I want to just go through the doodle results, which weren't really surprising. We're pretty much at the normal times that we do have the meeting. I haven't voted. I could be a tiebreaker here, but I think consensus here is everyone that participated is actually okay with the current time. We could push it back an hour. I would love to hear from Anish or anyone else on the West Coast if they feel like that's going to be beneficial. I'm on the East Coast. I think you are too, Tommy, with me. So I'm flexible with either one.
Yeah, maybe I also forgot to do this, so maybe we push it a bit more in the chat for another week or something in case anyone else missed it. But yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
and then I think also like, yeah, I think me and Nilek are here, but we are also okay with it. Like, that's why I think we said if we want to, we can still do that. So if the consensus at the end of it, like after waiting a week, is still we want to keep it at 8, I think that's totally fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's I think for the normal quorum that shows up here, I think everyone's okay with it. If we start getting more members that show up, we can revisit this. So I guess my vote is, hey, let's just keep everything the same until we need to change them. If we get any community feedback. All right, and I'll publish that out onto the Slack just to let everyone know. All right, let's go down. We got Tommy. You want to talk about some file ownership?
Yeah, I've did some work last time about let me pull this up for myself too. About writing different file permissions. But we run the driver, which writes the files as root. And so the files are always just owned by root. So you can change the file permissions, but it may not be that useful for you because the ownership is still root. So I think this might be a good issue to get more community involvement on, of just like what the expected behaviors, especially if there's like user namespacing, where like, the user in one pod may not be the same user number in another pod, that kind of thing. So just wanted to call it out, see if anyone wanted to work on it or yeah.
So the specific ask, Tommy, is
it's
asking for
one
community
just
help here.
Yeah, one just feedback on like community expectations of like like when they mount something into their pod, who do they expect it like to be the file owners and groups, and how do they expect to control that? And just if if anyone wants to pick up kind of like solving it too. I think it would probably help with our permissioning issues. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Awesome. And yeah, again, apologies. I got locked out of my normal Zoom account, so things are looking a little different. But I failed to ask at the beginning of this call. I see we do have a couple of new members. And for the new members, what we typically do is just ask you to just introduce yourself. You can, if you want to say your organization, et cetera, and then, kind of what you're looking for, or, what you're most interested in. I'll start from the top. I see LaShawn. I hate to put you on the spot, but yeah, we just like to introduce our new members here.
Oh yeah, hi everybody. I'm Sean Hurley. I'm from Red Hat. I'm just trying to join some SIGs that I found were interesting and just listen in for right now. I don't have any any like exact thing to get out of this right now, but
Okay.
This one seems super interesting just from like things that I could see us needing it for. So I'm just trying to just gain as much knowledge as I can at this point.
Well, thanks, and well, welcome to the community meeting.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It's nice to meet y'all.
Yeah. And then next on the list, I see Julie.
Hello. Hey, Phil. My name is Julie. Phil and I are colleagues at Microsoft, and I'm actually here because you mentioned this meeting is happening today. And I was like, oh, these meetings are here. I forget about these special interest groups and that they're that open. And so I was like, oh, let me just join and see what's going on. Yeah, so my background is more actually like a full stack engineer. I did some architecture stuff as well. And so it's interesting to hear how people are using new technologies. What are the challenges that they have? Because otherwise I'm stuck in my own little world and all my experiences and, which add up to prejudice in the sense that like the world works like the way I know it, but that's not always the case. Yeah, that's my long-winded introduction at the end of a day. I'm based in Munich, Germany. So.
Well, welcome to the meeting, Julie. All right, let's go back and I'll just check to see if we got any other thing on the agenda. I guess not. So
actually, I just wanted to go back to the file ownership one, right?
Okay.
I think the first thing was we talked about providers making it configurable for the individual files that's written to the file system. But on the Slack group, I think there was this interesting ask about using the security context file system permissions to also change the actual permissions for the file system. Like, I don't know if that is something that we want to support in the future. But I mean, we can definitely get community feedback, but I think we need to be really cautious if we want to do that with security context.
Yeah, so well, right now the like the providers can't return any intent on user or group. And then it did seem like there was at least one cap related to it. I haven't dug into it much, but about like how mounts, right, should treat was it a SIG storage FS group on mount cap about that. But yeah, no, that's why I don't want to make any changes yet, but it does seem like this could be an issue that people run into, and it seems worth kind of tackling, in my opinion.
Got it. Yeah, I think when you get a chance, like, share the gap. If that is where I think CSI is headed and that's how they want to do it, then we can do the same thing, like based on what they propose in the gap.
Yeah, I did add it as a comment. Oh yeah, security context. Okay, maybe I missed the chat thread in the Slack, but yeah, okay.
Cool. Yeah, and then also
Right.
like not on the agenda, but yeah, we cut an RC RC image last week, and then we've been testing that out, at least on the Azure provider. We have ended that and then we've been testing it. So we found one bug based on tests that were failing in GCP integration with the RC image. So me and Tommy worked on that a little bit yesterday and then have a PR out. So we'll be merging that and then cherry picking that to the release branch. And then I think we will be ready for the 1.1.10 release next week.
I think that takes us to all the agenda / discussion items. I'll open it up if anyone has any questions or comments or anything that they want to chat about, please do. If not, we can give you, about 40 minutes back.
Do we also want to quickly just go through the issues? And
Do you want to? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go through that. All right.
Okay, the first one, I actually opened it as a follow-up to the discussion on Tommy's PR. So basically, we have a PR out there which tries to change the default path where we are looking for sockets for the provider sockets. So we are moving from etc folder to var run. And then I think we're trying to do that in a backward compatible way. For consistency, the default is going to be etc Kubernetes, and then additional paths we'll check is var run. But I think this comment was specifically that we switch default to var run. And I think we decided that we'll do that in the next release. So I opened that issue to track that change. And
that happened in 1.2, correct?
Yeah.
That's what it's tagged for the milestone. Okay.
Yeah. And then the 869 is the bug that we talked about. We found in the RC image, so we have a fix for it that we're looking. We'll be merging soon. And then I think the third issue is it was specific to the Vault provider. So I looked at their code, and then basically Vault always returns version 0 for every secret. So that might be a provider specific issue, so we can move that issue later. And then I think 865 was, I was just curious what the community thoughts are on adding Prometheus Service Monitor to Helm Chat. Like, I think I've got similar asks on few other projects. And I was just wondering, is this something that we want to add in our Helm Chat in the future? I mean, we don't have to decide now, but I just wanted to bring it up for attention.
I will have to Google. I will have to Google what Service Monitor is before I.
Yeah, I was going to ask. This is I'm just assuming permitted. So is this scraping? Are we emitting any particular metrics with the pods?
So today we have metrics, right? And then we have documentation around what metrics we publish, but we actually don't provide any other setup. Like the user can set up Prometheus and then they can do the scraping on their own. But right. I think the ask here is we also do this as part of Helm Chat. And then like, I think my only comment was if you do this, then we need to keep up with the changes for Service Monitor in our Helm Chats. And then also like, if there's any breaking change, we have to update guidance and all that. And I was thinking we can keep that out of our control.
Yeah, that I agree with that. It seems like there's going to be some ongoing maintenance for this to keep working, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out. So the benefit of this is just what, just have a value in Helm to have this automatically start scraping? Is that what I'm understanding?
Sorry, what was that?
No, I was trying to say, is the value here that there's just a, like, you'll enable this in Helm to have the scrapes happen? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, I think they just want to bundle everything within a single chart. So when they install it, they basically get all the components required for metrics and the driver and everything installed. So they don't have to do it in two different ways. Like, I think it works
Oh.
well when all you're really doing is the driver. But I mean, if you're using the service monitor, maybe like for other components, then you still have to install it on your own.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, let me. I don't mind. I'll kick the tires with this experience. I'm curious. Maybe we can revisit this next call, and I can kind of say, what I've experienced.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I think there is no other issue. I think probably the rest we've gone through it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and that'll conclude our meeting today. Thanks everyone that has shown up. Next meeting will be in 2 weeks. So that's going to be March 3rd. And I'll work with Anish. We'll get this video out and post it on the YouTube channel. And we'll see everyone in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.